Hey, Phil here from Hookturn, and I've got another video specific to Advanced Forms Pro. Sorry, actually, we'll work with Advanced Forms Free and Pro. So if you're using the free version, this is still applicable to you. I want to this video comes about because I've had somebody write to me asking about excluding fields, and Advanced Forms does have support for excluding fields, like in the available form arguments. You can pass this exclude fields argument to the shortcode with a comma-separated list of field names or keys, or you can pass the exclude fields key to the args array, again with an array of field names or keys, and that will hide fields from the front end. So for example, if I edit this here, I'm going to exclude fields, I'm going to hide test field 1, okay, keeping in mind that on our form we have this test field 1. Okay, I'm going to update this, reload this page, and you'll see test field 1 has disappeared. Now I also have group fields in here as well. Now if I just go and grab the field name, it's test group 1. Okay, so I'm going to put a comma there, pass in test group 1, reload this, and you'll see test group 1 is gone. Now, the reason I'm doing this video, though, is because somebody has asked me how to hide subfields, and, you know, it's a legit question. It makes sense. It totally does. At this stage of the game, the plugin doesn't actually have support for hiding subfields by themselves. So, for example, if I was to take test field 1 here as a subfield, I'm just going to get its key, and let's stick its key in there and see what happens. Okay, so you see that the field is still there, and that's because in the form rendering code, or the block of code that handles field exclusion, it's really just looping through the fields array and not handling subfields. All right, so we're not handling subfields at this point. So what I've got though is a modification plugin. Like, it's just basically going to serve as a stopgap until I work this into the plugin properly. But I've got a modification plugin which I've published here on our support docs, and basically this will more or less patch in support for excluding subfields. You don't have to modify this code in any way, it just works. You just need to either download this and create a plugin, or take the critical part of the snippet and use that, which is something that we're going to look at doing right now. So what I might do is, before I do anything, I'm just going to remove all these exclusions. Okay, and we're going to reload this. So we've got test field 1 and 2 at the top level, test field 1 and 2 in group 1, and test field 1 and 2 in group 2. I'm using the same, just a quick note, I'm using the same field names just so that, you know, I know what's going on when I'm testing. But if you, obviously each one of these fields will have, or if you're familiar with how ACF field keys work, you'll know that each one of these fields, even though they've got the same names, they'll have different keys. So what we're going to do, or what I suggest you do, is if you're targeting fields for exclusion, target them via key. You can use the name if you've got unique names throughout your groups, and then it's not going to matter. But I'll show you in a minute what happens if you use the same name at the top at various parts of the form, and in various subfield contexts. So what we'll do before we do anything else is, I think I already saved that. What we're going to do is we're going to get this plugin here and we're going to add it to our site. So I'm just going to copy this whole snippet. In fact, I think no, there is not. Never mind me. All right, I'm going to get this whole snippet and I'm going to come over to our installation here, and I'm just going to create a directory. Let's just call it AFP mod subfields. You can call this anything you want. It's going to be just a plugin that you're adding. I'm going to name the file the same, and then in here I'm going to copy all this code and I'm going to paste it in here. Okay, so this will give us the complete plugin code. I'll just point out that I've got prefixes on everything, so this shouldn't have any kind of interference with anything else. If you find there are issues along that, just go and change, basically go and search for this prefix on this whole file and just replace it. Anyway you see it, replace it with something custom and you'll be fine. And just another note, if you did not want to use a plugin, if you wanted to use it as a snippet, all you want is basically all of this code here. So leave out that die statement, leave out the plugin headers, and then you can go and paste this in your functions. You can paste it in a custom plugin of your own. You can paste it in a snippet manager. It's completely up to you where I put it, but I'm just going to go with the plugin at the moment. So I've saved this. I'm going to come over to our plugin screen. I'm going to see that we've got it here. I'm going to activate it. Okay. Now, reload this, make sure it's still unchanged. Nothing's changed there. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and exclude test field 1 again. All right, I'm just going to see what happens when we use a field that's got the same name in many contexts. Okay, cool. So all of our test field 1s, they're now hidden. All right, they're all gone. Okay, so that's why you don't want to use field names, unless, of course, that makes sense to your situation. But what I suggest you do, I'm just going to get rid of that, update it, reload this. What I suggest you do is find the field keys, the specific keys that you want. All right, you can look in the markup and you'll see there's data key there. So I'm going to hide this test field 1, okay? And I'll do that by pasting in the key. And then the other one I'm going to hide, let's say out of group 2, we'll hide test field 2, okay? I'll grab that key as well. We'll hide that. And let's, you know what, let's leave it there. Let's leave that as it is. We'll update this, reload the front, and there we go. Test group 1 has had its test field 1 hidden, and group 2 has had field 2 hidden. Okay, so the way this is, just a couple of additional notes. So the way that I've coded this means that you can basically go ahead and use exclude fields args as normal, as you might expect, and this won't break on any future updates. And when I do add support for excluding subfields, you'll just be able to disable this extension plugin, and you should see no change, or things should just go on business as usual. Okay. So there's absolutely no need for any additional code outside of the plugin. Okay, so that's it. If you've got questions, just let me know. You can either comment. I'm going to put this video on YouTube. You can comment on YouTube, or you can write to me, and we'll just take it wherever you contact me.